Yo, it's ODB, our lifestyle podcast. Got a big project we're going to be starting today. Actually, Wednesday this week, I went with Fred, family friend. Been down with our family since my pops was in school. He has done a lot for my fam, helping with building stuff, all kinds of construction type deals, right? He went on Wednesday and got all of the stuff lined up for me to come down and buy for the electrical in the building. So I've hinted at this. I've mentioned in the past when we did the lift install that the electric was coming, and it's just one of those things where I've tried to learn to have patience. Put this building up about 2015 or 2016. I always forget. I want to say 2015. And that was like in October, November time. But I always knew that I wanted to get electrical out here. Just need to make it happen. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to show you guys a little bit of what we got going on. This has long been, since I bought this Gladiator shelf, that's long been the area for all the magazines. And it's kind of organized confusion. I recently resorted, so a lot of that's done. There's parts above. Over in this left corner, there's going to eventually be a compressor. So I moved the Home Depot shelving that a buddy gave me years ago. I moved that out of there because Tony said, hey, when we put the lift up, it's going to be tight. Refrigerator is going to remain. You kind of see some of the wall art there on the left with some of license plates my pops and parents gave me. I recently hung up all of the hubcaps, and you can see this kind of work area. This was a bench my friend's dad gave me when I moved in the house, and this was in my little storage area, but I quickly outgrew that, and I was pretty much landlocked in there. So one of the reasons why we put up the building. And I'm kind of showing the organized confusion because eventually I want to have this all organized, and I'll explain more. But here's a long bench I got on a Craigslist deal years ago. Love this thing. Obviously, it provides that under storage, and then I can even store stuff. Last night, Preston and I moved a bunch of stuff, including CDs. So those are there. What's up, puppy? Peyton says, what's up? Now, I did a video before this, and because iOS 15.4.1, it literally bricked my phone. I lost that video. Photos had backed up, but that video had not. Last night, we basically moved a bunch of this stuff. Some of this, now that I moved the cars out this morning, we're going to be able to move into the middle, okay? But what I wanted to kind of show is this was from a honey hole years ago, this nice metal shelf. And I'll go over here in a second. I'm thinking about moving ODB's corner down a little bit. That'll give me more room back there. And I'll show you a couple more things that I want to mention, okay? A lot of these parts are going to be gone eventually. They're going to go on the Lincoln. Some of these are skateboards I want to display. I got the Mel 462, an extra one here, my original Lincoln seat, things like that. But this will make sense in a minute. So this TV needs a new power supply. It's eventually going to get mounted, hopefully right up there. So we'll be able to have TV, Pandora, whatever, apps playing. This is something Vic gave me where I store a lot of my CDs. Something else Vic gave me. Uncle Andy, which was Maddie's uncle, rest in peace. He was a carpenter. He had built these. These were like in his garage. And it's pretty cool because there's actually a top piece that goes across that comes into up here. And then he had built these shelf deals, and I made little things to slide in. So this possibly may shift down. I got, of course, the Rad BMX fence, which is a nod to the movie, and some of the display cases. And these are some of the magazine collection, okay? Last night, this was a beast because I had the Colorado Custom wheels. I had 12 display cases lined. This is where the panel's going to go, okay? So that's kind of, I wanted to at least show the because I do hope that once we get all this done, that I can kind of bring it back to nice, organized, not so much, disorganization, okay? I meant to grab the plan that Fred drew, which he drew it by hand. I pulled the permit, which this is an easy permit overall. It's basically a residential miscellaneous. I think it's residential electrical miscellaneous, I believe, something like that. But it was about $80 for the permit. I always suggest that you do things permitted, if depending on your jurisdiction, because Hillsborough County is not too bad. But if people call and they go, hey, they're doing construction or they're doing something over there, they can come out and they can, start hitting you with fees and things like that. So of course I'm not going to ever do that stuff. But basically what we're going to do is we're going to have a 220, I think it's called 220, but it's really 225, 220 service brought in here. And what we're going to do is we're going to start today. He thinks it's going to take 3 full days. Next weekend's mini nat, so that weekend's off for me. But if we get a good jump start today, we'll be able to start mounting where the receptacles are going to go. We'll be able to possibly mount the pressure treated wood that we have that's going to go here. So kind of go here. The outside of the meter can will go there. We're actually going to get new service, and it's going to be brought in from the pole. That way I don't have to bring anything from the house. That's kind of a long story, but we're hoping to do underground service. They approved me years ago for above ground, but what we want to do is underground, come in the side right there and be done. I think what we're going to do today is we're going to try to start mounting, get a feel for the receptacles where we want to put them. So what we'll end up doing is kind of getting a feel for where we want to put those, which we have them marked on the little plan that he drew up. My understanding is the way we're going to wire through the lift, at least on the paper, I don't know if we're just going to loop it up there and it's going to come down. We got to kind of figure that out. Again, I don't know this stuff. Fred does, and I'm just going to basically be the helper. I got to go now to my mom's, where my uncle has a ladder we can borrow to do some stuff above. And I think that's kind of it. But I wanted you guys to see, and I wanted to document the madness here because it's organized, but it's not. It's just organized chaos. I've been watching videos lately for people that have been redoing their garages, and it's just insane what people do. Whether it's cabinetry all the way down. I mean, I've seen a lot of cool stuff, so I'm excited for that. The other thing I'm excited for is we are going to have 3 kind of floodlights there, one in the middle there. Probably do a ring floodlight there. There'll be a GFI, is that how you say it, GFI? Outlet here. So think Christmas lights, think, speaker out here, those type of things. Eventually, which I'm going to ask Tico about when they come out to give me a heads up if I could do the underground service, I'm going to try to get the overhead power brought underground. The reason for that is eventually I want to do an awning off the top that comes all the way out and possibly pave this or put seashells down. I don't know. We'll have to see. But that's kind of it. So wish us luck. I'll try to do some time lapse. I'm probably going to break this into different videos just because, I don't want to make every video 20 minutes and then people watch for 7. I want to try to make them a little bit more digestible. So this will be part 1 and you'll get a chance to kind of see the pre-madness. Now, granted, you could be going, hey, you're doing electrical. What does that really have to do? Well, it's going to get this TV out of here and eventually mounted, right? It's going to get some of this stuff put into a place where it needs to go. But also a lot of that stuff, you know how it is, you start piling stuff. So last night when we moved a lot of this out, once it's all nice and organized and stuff's ran and things, I'm not going to want to necessarily just dump stuff back in here. So I got to be strategic on how I get things back out into their spot, and possibly get rid of some stuff and go, you know what? I want to be able to swing my door wide open and not have to worry about shit hitting it. So we will see. This is on rollers, thanks to PJB. He helped a lot last night. Thanks for always watching all the way through. If you're one of the folks that do, stay on the rise. Check out our lifestyle podcast via any podcast app. Just search OLP. We got you. Peace.